Welcome to Derrick Keller Field, home of the Orioles, for today's exciting Junior Legion baseball matchup. It's an inter-city rivalry as the St. Louis Park Railcats, the Junior Legion team, lock horns with their inter-city rival, the Benilde-St. Margaret's Chester Bird Legion program. I'm John Fromm, and on behalf of our staff here, including Paul Broden, we're excited to bring you the first of two games tonight. We are going to be calling the Legion game later. It should be a good matchup. The Railcats come in with an 11-7 record, coached by Danny Bissonette, the varsity assistant, and fresh off a weekend down in Egan, where the boys had a 1-2 mark, but Danny was telling me both of the losses were close as well. St. Louis Park, I believe, is 7-4 in the conference and in second place as well. So a real nice season for the Junior Legion program. And for Benilde, we should mention that most of these kids have just finished their sophomore year of high school. So you've got mostly 16-year-olds playing Junior Legion. There are going to be some 15-year-olds, and you will see some kids that, just finished 9th grade. Towing the slab today for the Orioles, a youngster that just finished his sophomore year, Jason Keller, number 27, will be doing the pitching today for St. Louis Park, and Kyle Nordstrom will be doing the catching. He also finished his sophomore year. Leading off for Benilde, the catcher today, number 15, Chris Landis. That one taken high today. Beautiful day for ball here. 5:30 start here at Keller, and it's about 78 to 80 degrees. Not a lot of humidity. Fans are filing in for their 5:30 tilt. It looks like Jason hits the corner with that. Jason has a 2 or 3 pitch mix he'll come at you with. He's done a nice job this year on the hill as well as at the plate for the Orioles. Nice job on that 1-1 offering. A nice offer by Landis, and that'll take the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Take a nice wide shot here from our third base camera angle. Nice little curveball. Landis does a nice job peeling that foul and pushing that out of play. You mentioned today Landis doing the catching for Benilde. Chris Philbin, number 10, on the on-deck circle. And there's Keller with a strike 3 as he gets Landis with a clean strikeout to start the first inning. And that'll bring up in the 2-hole, playing second base today, Chris Philbin. Another Chris. Apologize, we do not have stats for Benilde. We did try to get those ahead of time, but both teams similar records. So Keller really pounding the strike zone early. He's thrown 6 pitches and 5 of them have been strikes in the zone. So just misses with a slow breaking ball that time. Jason, a quick worker. Archie Olsen also done a lot of pitching for the Orioles this year. That one's sawed off, and he'll shoot fair right over the first base bag. And Philbin will round first, go hard. He's going to 2. Ball is picked up by the right fielder, Henstein, and thrown in. And the cutoff man, Ryan, will peel that. Kind of an inside-out swing that time as he sawed him off in on the handle there. I don't know if we have the replay of that, but that ball just scooted over the head of first baseman Adam Pettit, and Philbin was able to wheel towards second for a 1-out double. That'll bring out the number 3 hitter, Isaac Hogan, the right fielder. Little high with that fastball, had some velocity on that. That one peeled foul, a nice cut that time by Hogan. The count will ride along at 1 ball and 1 strike. If you just joined us, just the top of the first inning here at Keller Field, as Benilde-St. Margaret's and St. Louis Park locking up in a Junior Legion game. These kids, as we mentioned, are generally 16 years of age. Most of them have completed their sophomore year, if not their junior year of high school. There's a little breaking ball lined up the middle, glove on it, and Brody Ryan moves quickly to his right And Ryan, with a nice play off the deflection, throws over to Pettit at first, and they retire Hogan on the 1-4-3 putout. Nice job that time by Keller, as he got a glove on that, and if he wouldn't have done that, I don't think Ryan would have been able to corral that. And that'll bring up Tyler Wyville, the first baseman for Benilde, big left-handed stroker. Nice job working the outside corner for strike one. Two down, top of the first inning. Keller wheels again up high. Nordstrom goes up high and reaches that as well. Ryan, the second baseman we mentioned, one of the only kids on the team that's played regularly that just finished his freshman year. He's an excellent tennis player for the Oriole tennis program. And their Wyville chases a high offering, and that'll make the count 1-2 strikes. Philbin over at third base after he got the 1-out double. Small lead, and that ball is peeled foul into the woods back here. Connor will ride along at a ball and 2 strikes. We'll run through the Oriole lineup and some other information after this half inning. A little slow. Looked like a changeup kind of floated away that time. Looks like Jason's got a fastball along with the change, and he'll use that curveball on occasion too. Little inside, that ball's to the backstop. Here comes Philbin racing for home, and he's going to make it on the wild pitch that time. Not sure if wild pitch or a pass ball, or it did hit Nordstrom's glove. Don't know if we can go that, but Philbin races home for the first run of the game. The ball, it looked a real tough job for Nordstrom, as he's got his glove on his left hand, and he had to reach to his right behind, almost behind the left-handed batter, and the ball went to the backstop. So I'm going to call that a wild pitch. That one's popped up on the infield, and Jaramillo, the shortstop's calling that, and he's going to two-hand that for the third out of the inning. So Benilde is able to scrape together a run off the 1-out double, and then Philbin moved to third base on the ground ball and scored on the wild pitch. So half inning complete here, and Benilde does take a 1-0 lead. We mentioned this is a Junior Legion game. The Oriole Legion team will be playing in a game later tonight. You see Benilde with 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. On the mound today for Benilde, Johnny Vasiri, who is the starting pitcher today, number 5 for them. He's done a lot of pitching at the youth level through the Plymouth New Hope Little League. I remember years gone by, I think in 2010, he was a member of the Plymouth team that went to the Little League World Series. My younger boy played against their team, and I remember him pitching. And he's going to get the call on the mound today, and doing the catching, Chris Landis. There you take a look at the Orioles batting order. TJ Rempfer leading it off. Center field, they're really stroking at a high clip. Joey Jaramillo at short. Keller, we mentioned, on the mound, batting third. And then the big left-handed batter, Archie Olson, playing third today. Andrew Henstein, another big right-handed bat in right field, batting fifth. Kyle Nordstrom, as we mentioned, hitting sixth. The second baseman, Brody Ryan, 7th. Keenan Kanizel in left field, batting 8th. And on first base, Adam Pettit, as you take a good look at Vasiri there. Got a nice undershirt on there to absorb any of the heat or moisture today. And he's throwing again to Chris Landis. This will be TJ Rempfer leading it off for the Orioles. TJ coming into the game, stroking at a really high rate. He's only has 12 official plate appearances, but he's 6 for 11 for a .545 average. I know he's really a fast runner and a good defenseman for the Oriole hockey team too. Good athlete, good pipeline in the family. He's got that one tied in on his hands a little bit, and he's gonna fly out to the shortstop there, a little soft liner. So on the 1-0 pitch, Rempfer lines to short, and that'll bring up, excuse me, that'll bring up Joey Jaramillo, number 10. He's played some of the second base on the Legion and done a nice job, and Joey also coming into this game hitting a .360 on the Junior Legion season. Real quality defender, Good skills. He, as well as Rumford, just finished his sophomore year, so. That has to spin him around up and in that time, and that'll make it 2-0. Orioles have a .338 team batting average entering the game tonight, which I know Coach Bissonette real pleased with. Oh, and that time Vasiri just shaves the corner with that ball. 2-0 pitch, and he just barely got it down and away, but nice pitch there. And Jaramillo with a nice stroke single into center field as Joey straightens that out nicely. And that'll bring up the 3-hole hitter for St. Louis Park, the young man who's doing the pitching today. Here is Jason Keller. And Jason on the year, stroking at a .315 rate. He's got 3 triples on the year and has banged out 11 RBIs. Jaramillo, we should mention, has 10 RBIs as well. And that fastball lined into right field. Jaramillo going to get the sign from Bissonette to go 3. And Orioles have something brewing here with 1 out as a nice line single by Keller into right field followed the Jaramillo single. And the Orioles are first and third with 1 down. And here comes one of the bigger hitters in the Oriole lineup and in the league, leading the team in hitting by far, Archie Olson. Archie, if you can believe this, folks, he's got 26 hits in 49 at bats. That's a .531 batting average, and he's got 14 RBIs on the year. So just a phenomenal job. He's got a big hole on the right side here with nice job that time on the block that time by Philbin. As a left-handed batter here, folks, he's got a big hole on the first base side as the first baseman has to hold the runner Keller, which gives him a chance to pull through. Nice camera shot there. You take a look at Archie. His dad, Mike Olson, was a player here at the Orioles. Throw down to 3 as a stolen base is successful for Keller. A play you often see at the Junior Legion level on a stolen base attempt by Keller. Instead of throwing through to second and risking a double steal, they throw back to third to try to pick off Jaramillo. Nice swing that time on that pitch, and it's going to be a ball and 2 strikes now to Archie. So he's got second and third with 1 down. See what Vasiri looks at here as he goes from the full windup now. Oh, nice job fouling that off because that was up and in and a tough pitch to handle by Archie. Vasiri going to rub down that ball, and he looks into Philbin for the count. Olson with an open stance, as you can see. Slow breaking ball, just misses the corner that time as he tried to work that one over that outside edge. Unable to do so. Nice effort that time though. 2-2 is the count. Down and in that time. So Archie comes back and works it to a full count here. Ball goes past Vasiri. Nice job by Benilde-St. Margaret's that time as the shortstop Ricchini wide awake on that play, and Ricchini's going to stop that and make sure that Jaramillo doesn't score. Oh, and he shaves that outside corner on a nice backdoor strike, and a nice job getting the second out of the inning. Archie not happy with that call, but that'll leave it up to Andrew Henstein with 2 ducks on the pond and 2 out. And for Andrew on the year, he's stroking at a .259 rate, and he's also banged out 11 RBIs with 3 doubles. Down low on that offering. That'll make it 1-0 is the count. Andrew sporting the high stirrup socks. And he chops that one hard to second base. Nice job that time. Beautiful work that time on the second baseman Philbin as he came in on that and was able to corral that and make a 4-3 putout. So the 2 hits don't materialize into anything. And after 1 complete, we're going to step away momentarily. We'll stay up, I guess. And Orioles were able to get a couple of singles. We should mention a lot going on in the area baseball related. If you are a baseball fan and you're watching the replay of this, St. Louis Park Little League was honored last year to be the recipient of hosting the District 1 Little League 12-year-old All-Star Tournament, which is going on starting today on July 9th. And I believe it's running through the 21st over at the 3 fields at Northside Park over there. I know St. Louis Park has a good 12-year-old team this year. And make sure you go to the St. Louis Park baseball website and click on Little League, and then you can find out the times of the game, or better yet, just stop up to the fields. The games are, I think, generally at 5 and 7 p.m. on weekdays. Hey, take a look at the Benilde lineup there. It says Minnetonka on the top. My mistake here. We forgot to correct that. We mentioned that Benilde technically is called Chester Bird. The Legion programs in Minnesota are each sponsored by a specific Legion chapter, and the Chester Bird post is located in Golden Valley, and that's the name of the post. So sometimes if you hear Chester Bird Legion, it is affiliated with Benilde-St. Margaret's High School. But so leading off the top of the second inning for Benilde, a young man I've known really well, Christopher Vladimir Rakini, number 13, a really good bat in the Benilde lineup. He got some significant work this year on the varsity for them, just finished his junior year. A guy who really is a baseball fanatic, nice left-handed bat. Takes that offering high. Remember a few years ago, Christopher played in all the St. Louis Park traveling teams on his way up, and he had a big game-winning hit a couple years ago in a game Paul and I broadcast that won a, I don't know if you remember that, Paul, but we had that one game that we did on cable a few years back. 2-0 offering, takes a little off of that and is able to get strike one by Rakini in that at-bat. Jack Quayle in the center fielder on deck circle for them. Rakini offers at the bunt, pulls it back. Archie Olsen wasn't charging at all at third, so maybe that was a chance for the Benilde coaching staff to see how the Orioles infield would react. 3-1 is the count. And that ball is taken high, and Rakini with good speed is able to work a walk to start the top of the second inning, and that'll bring up the center fielder Jack Quaylen. Quaylen, number 2, playing center field for them today, also a big hockey player. Grew up in the Plymouth area, and I believe he also was on that Plymouth New Hope team that went to Williamsport a couple years ago. Keller, nice little breaking ball there, a changeup I think he threw to get ahead 0-1 on the count. Quaylen's also, I don't know if he pitches anymore. He used to have excellent control on the mound when he pitched, so. There's Rakini going, and he's got a nice jump, and nobody's going to stop him there. Ball in the dirt here, so Rakini gets down to second with nobody out. Runner in scoring position here. To the belt, Keller in the closed stance from the stretch position. That ball's shot into right field. That's going to be trouble. That's going to fall in past Enstein. Quaylen taking a look at that ball, but he's going to stay at first. No, bobble momentarily. Here comes the throw into second. And Quaylen in successfully. I'm going to call that a single and an error on Henstein, as that'll plate Rakini with the second run of the game. That ball was shot out into right field, Paul, and I don't know if we have a chance to replay that. Henstein made a nice break for that ball. Did get a glove on it, but he momentarily bobbled it, and that allowed Quaylen to get down to second. So RBI and an error on the right fielder, and that'll bring up Alex Messer. Messer with a bunt attempt, bunted in the air and caught. Oh, and that ball thrown into center field almost, but Jared Miller with a nice job recovering and able to stop that. I thought that ball was headed into center field. So Messer pops up the bunt attempt for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Connor Day, number 7, the third baseman. Quaylen on second with good speed. Keller from the stretch, and Nordstrom able to frame that for strike one on the outside corner. Day, left-handed batter. Gets a nice cut inside there as he tries to drive that one down the right field line. Benilde pretty much got, everybody's got the red Nikes on with the white stripes, so they're pretty fashionable with their apparel today and the red and white helmets. So that one shot into left field. That's going to be trouble as well. Quaylen had to hold up momentarily, but they're going to send him. No, I believe they stopped him at the end there. He didn't get a good read on that ball, and the coach had to send him or stop him at the end. Nice hit that time by Day as he as well goes the other way, and that's the third hit of the inning. And that'll put Quaylen over to third base and bring up the number 9 hole hitter, the left fielder, Andrew Betcher, another left-handed batter in the lineup. So first and third, 1 out. We'll take a look at what happens if they send the runner at first. Being held on as you would expect by Pettit. Adam Pettit holding the runner on here. Day taking a look over at his coaches. Fastball misses on the outside part there, and that'll make it 2-0 the count. So first and third, only 1 down. Day staying put at first so far. We'll see with the left-handed batter if they elect to leave him there and try to see if Betcher can pull it through the right side. I know I used to be a switch hitter. When I batted left when there was a runner on first, I would love it if the runner would stay put because I wanted to try to pull the ball through the right side of the infield. Count rides along at 2 balls and 1 strike. Day with a nice lead over at first. Up and away, and that'll make it 3-1. So Keller, a little bit of trouble here. The Oriole coaching staff, which includes Danny Bissonette and Cast of Thousands over there. I'm not sure if Ryan Cohn is helping out Junior Legion. I know he's the Legion coach this year. Betcher, 3-1 count at the dish. Oh, nice job that time. Nice offering, kind of on the outer half, and that'll make it a full count. Now we'll see what they do with Day this time. Coach signaling the play in from his third base coaching box. Be a good opportunity to run here with a full count and 1 down. We'll see if Keller tries to hold him. That one peeled back. Runner not going anywhere on that. And that'll make it ball 4, and we'll load him up and send us back to the top of the order here. No action in the Oriole dugout as they're going to have Kyle Nordstrom go out and take a visit with Jason Keller and try to settle things down. He had a good first inning. He threw 17 pitches in the first inning, but he has given up actually 2 hits this inning along with 2 walks. And 1 run in so far, but top of the order, and this is Chris Landis. Landis, the catcher, went down swinging to start the game in the top of the first. That one up in the zone, and Landis offers. Gets underneath it as you'd suspect. Umpire's got to make a move to his right and corral that. Only 1 umpire working this game. Sometimes you'll get a 2-man crew for Junior Legion, usually for Legion, but offers again at that high fastball, and that'll make it 0-2. 0-2 is the count. Bases are loaded. 1 run in for Chester Bird so far. That one down and away. As we mentioned, a really nice day for baseball. It's about 80, but there's some breeze and the humidity isn't too bad, so really nothing to complain about. That one peeled foul. Or excuse me, peeled out to shortstop. Quaylen, he called it, the umpire called infield fly, even though the left fielder caught it. So infield fly generally first, second, or first, second, and third. Less than 2 outs on what they would call a normal fly ball. So Landis pops up to left field, and that's the second out, and that'll bring up Philbin, who doubled to right field with 1 out in the first inning and came around to score. Keller reaches down low there as Nordstrom does a nice job framing that pitch to get ahead 0-1 in the count. That one peeled foul as well. So Keller one strike away from getting out of this damage. Bases are still loaded, 2 outs, but he's got a 1-2 count now on Philbin. 2-0 is the score here, just in the top of the second if you just joined us. Benilde-St. Margaret's against St. Louis Park, Junior Legion Baseball. Kids are generally 16 years of age. That one fouls over to the coach's box, and we had to scurry one of the coaches over there. Take a nice look there that time at Philbin. Nice camera shot from our crack staff. Keller kind of shoots that one up the middle, but Jaramillo, ranging to his left, is able to retire that. And the Orioles were able to get out of that without a lot of damage. 1 run did come in, but there were 2 hits and 2 walks in the inning. So 1.5 complete here, and the score remains Benilde-St. Margaret's 2, St. Louis Park nothing. And joined by some of the dignitaries in attendance today, Joel Ricchini, Dominic Simonetti. Dominic, I'd love to have one of you guys strap a headset on, and feel free to. Joel's my guy. I had a nice talk with a lot of, and how are you doing, Mr. Valerius? We're on the air, and that's okay. But if any of you guys want to strap a headset on, I can't. I know several of the kids, but I don't have a lot of stats and. Yeah, it's nice that we could cover the game today, though. And this game, as we mentioned, will be rebroadcast starting tomorrow on Wednesday. And then you can get a copy of it for $15, or if Dominic so chooses, you can get 3 or more for 10 apiece if Dominic wants to ask around if any of the fans. Riley's gone today, Dominic's son, who's been one of the big hitters for Benilde. But you sent him, I believe, Dominic, you sent him to do some mission work. So good for you. So, as we mentioned, we're just heading into the bottom of the second inning today. Most of the kids are 16 years of age that just finished their sophomore year. There's some of the kids that finished just 9th grade. I know it kind of varies, and then a couple of the young men finish others. So 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for Benilde. No runs on 2 hits for St. Louis Park. That'll take us to the bottom of the second, and leading it off for the Orioles, number 21, doing the catching today, Kyle Nordstrom. Vasiri starts him off with strike 1 that time. Nice job that time. Nordstrom doing almost all the catching. He did some backup catching on the varsity this year, and he also did a lot of catching on the junior varsity. So 0-2, Vasiri working ahead. Vasiri uncorks a fastball that time. That's going to rise up and away. Kyle, another one of those good athletes. Good student for the Orioles. And that one shot down to third base. Momentarily bobbled that time by the Red Knights, but that ball shot over by Day as he throws it over nicely over to Wyville for the putout. So a 5-3 putout will start at the bottom of the second inning. And that'll bring up Brody Ryan, the second baseman, and also he's the only one in the lineup today that just finished his freshman year for the Orioles. Real good tennis player. I think he was #1 singles, and also has played a lot of baseball in the summers. Nice left-handed stick. Don't know if that quite got him on the inside corner, but he shot out of the way that time. So take a look at Brody, or number 24 there. A nice play in the first inning on that one ground ball. Down and away that time for that offering. We'll make it 2-0 is the count. One of the first games we've had on cable, and I think since the new Derrick Keller scoreboard was installed and the field was officially renamed. Nice offering that time at the 2-0, and Ryan unable to come through with that. Vasiri looking in for a sign here. Landis drops down the deuce, and we'll see what pitch that brings. Fastball up and away. Takes it to 3-1, and on the on-deck circle for the Orioles is Keenan Kneisel. Right down the middle there with the 3-1 offering. That one sawed off it on the hands. Ball hit to short. Ricchini with a clean pick. Nice throw over to first base, and Weibel with the stretch on the 6-3 putout. So that nice job by Vasiri getting in on the hands there on that full count offering, and he sawed him off on that choice. And that'll bring up for St. Louis Park the left fielder today, Keenan Kneisel. Keenan, another one of those young men who's active in multiple sports, a real good hockey player, wearing number 14 today. Keenan hitting .288 on the season for St. Louis Park with 8 RBIs. Archie Olsen leading the team in RBIs as he's banged out 14. That one all chopped again. A big hop over to Ricchini. Back foot plant. Hard throw over to Weibel, and a nice 6-3 putout on a 1-2-3 inning as Christopher Ricchini gets 2 balls at shortstop. And after 2 complete here from St. Louis Park, we're going to step away momentarily. Benilde-St. Margaret's 2. The Railcats from St. Louis Park, nothing. Stay with us here on Park 16.
George, it's a great deal. Only used a couple of times, and it gets great parsecs for very little dilithium crystals.
Well, I appreciate the offer, but what I really need is information about Social Security. How do I find out what my monthly payment will be?
Online.
How about if I just want Medicare?
Online?
Oh my. We'll boldly go to socialsecurity.gov.
Let's go kick the tires.
Said that he had some on a computer at home, but I wanted to at least try. All right, we're back here at St. Louis Park as we start the top of the 3rd inning. Benilde up 2-0 as we'll lead off the top of the 3rd for Benilde, and this is Isaac Hogan, who hit a hard ground ball back up the middle that was deflected by Keller, and Ryan made a nice putout in the 1st inning. Cruising right along, Jason Keller. Ball inside. He did a really nice job getting out of that 2nd inning with only 1 run scoring. I believe he threw 21 pitches in the 2nd inning, which takes him up to 38 through 2 innings. That one, gets that strike by him. A little check swing by Hogan. Didn't fully offer at that pitch. Right down the middle that time. Take a 2-2 as the count here. We'll see if Keller reaches into his bag of tricks and offers something up with a 2-2 count here. Works inside again. Jason with a nice slow, methodical delivery. Stays really balanced and in tune. Right over the center of the mound to start his delivery. That one peeled foul out of play. Joel Vlad. A couple of nice plays then that last half inning by Vladimir Ricchini, the shortstop. And strike 3 taken that time by Hogan, and that'll be the first out of the top of the 3rd inning. That'll bring up Tyler Weibel, who sawed off a little bit and hit a little looping liner to the shortstop. He's the cleanup hitter for Benilde. Big left-handed bat. Orioles playing him deep and straight, a little bit pulled towards right field. Pretty nice crowd on hand. I don't know, we got 30, 40 fans in attendance. That ball, looks like Keller took a little bit off that off-rain. Gonna get a ball and a strike that time. Little up and away that time. Take it out to 2-1. Just one down here, top of the third. Benilde with a run in each of the first 2 innings. Take a look at Wyville there, first baseman. That one peeled away as well. Right it out to 2-2. First of 2 games here tonight is a rare Junior Legion doubleheader. The Oriole Junior Legion team playing the first game and the Legion team playing later tonight. Nice change up that time, gets him way ahead, and that's going to be strike 3 on a swing there. Nice job, Mike. And that'll bring up number 13, the shortstop, Christopher Ricchini. Mentioned I've known him for a lot of years. Really a kid who just loves baseball and loves playing. Good left-handed batter. Good cut that time by Christopher. He walked last time and then came around, stole second and came around to score the Benilde second run of the game last inning. Down and in that time. Don't have, as we mentioned, don't have any statistics for Benilde. I did try ahead of time, but you can imagine Christopher and Tyler and Isaac hitting 3, 4, 5, probably 3 of the better hitters on the team. That ball peeled out of play. Didn't quite see where that one fouled back, so that'll add the count along at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nice breeze today, keeping the temperature down and things very comfortable. That ball shot right up the middle. Jared Miller not going to have a play on that as Ricchini singles sharply up the middle with 2 down here in the first inning. Take a good look at Christopher over there. He's got the red and white undershirt on. Kind of making some dialogue with Adam Petto. That'll bring up Jack Quaylen, who singled to right down the right field line last time and was stranded at third base. That one taken for ball 1. 2 down here. Top of the third inning. Ricchini on first with 2 outs. We'll see with his wheels if they have him set in motion here. He's got a nice lead already. He's really broken that lead out quite nice. Let's see if Keller will throw over there. Indeed he does. It was a good sized lead. Nice job by the Orioles trying to keep him in check. We mentioned he stole last inning. He stole second. See if Jason can hold him close. 2 down, so you can imagine they wouldn't mind sending him again here. Nice size lead, and indeed he goes. Breaking ball right in the middle. No chance to throw him out. That ball's going to shoot into center field, but nice job that time by the Orioles backing up the play. Because Ryan and Jaramillo and Rumpf are able to run in and stop that from being more than a stolen base. So good lead, and it was a changeup that he ran on, so he really, Nordstrom had nothing he could have done to really throw that runner out. So 2 down, runner in scoring position for Quaylen. 1-1 is the count. Quaylen a little bit behind on that fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jack just let that fly by. 2-2 the count. Alex Messer on deck. That one sawed on off in the hands. Jaramillo got some bad English on that ball. Picks it clean and a nice throw. That was not an easy play because that ball was sawed off in on the handle and it had some reverse English on it. And Joey had to backhand that ball, but he made a nice clean throw over to Pettit for the third out of the inning. And after 2.5 here, the score will bounce along at 2-0. Savian, just wanted to remind everybody that if you are interested in getting involved with St. Louis Park cable television in any way, I know, or ordering a copy of this game or finding out some more information on internship possibilities, Paul Broden, who's our director, has a number that he's going to flash up on the board here. If you want to order a copy of today's game, you can go to the ParkTV.org website, ParkTV.org website if you want to get a copy of the game today. And you can also call Paul Broden at the 952-924-2562 number if you want to have any feedback or questions or are interested in volunteering to work as an intern or even helping out with some of the broadcasts. So I think I said that right, Paul? And Danny Bissonette walking by, one of the Oriole coaches who, as we mentioned, St. Louis Park off to an 11-7 start on the season. Danny's the main assistant coach for the Orioles baseball team and also played hockey for them. And I know Mike Olson, who's the varsity pitching coach, his son Archie's here, so they really have some nice players and coaches around that can help out. So. And leading off, Adam Pettit, the first baseman, will lead off the bottom of the third inning. That one taken for strike one for Adam. Adam sporting number 12. Vasiri only threw 26 pitches through the first 2 innings, only 11 last inning, so did a nice job. Only allowed the 2 hits by Jaramillo and Keller back to back with 1 out in the first inning, and they were both stranded. So he really pounds the strike zone, and I remember that from years gone by. Pettit hits that one hard. Tough chance. Ricchini that time. He'll pick it. Not enough time. That was a real tough hop with the field hasn't been watered a lot here, and we haven't had a lot of moisture the last 2 days, and that was a tough hop on Ricchini. Came up on him. I'm going to give Pettit a single on that just because I thought it was a really difficult chance. So that'll bring back to the top of the order for St. Louis Park and TJ Rempfer. As we mentioned before, I should have mentioned when Pettit came up, Adam hitting almost 300 on the year in 7 games, and here's TJ Rempfer. Missed a lot of games, but he's got a nice bat on the season. That one's hit down the right field line. Don't know if there's going to be room. That does shoot out of play, so Rempfer with new life here. Just taking a look at some of the numbers here. As we mentioned, Jason Keller leading St. Louis Park with 3 triples. Archie Olson has swatted 7 doubles for the Orioles, as well as 14 RBIs and a .531 average, all team highs. Rempfer probably among the fastest players on the team. Got a nice orange, black, and white back. He offers on the bunt. Looked like a fake bunt play, and he just gets back as Pettit. Don't know if that was a fake bunt and steal or if that was supposed to be a fake bunt and Pettit was supposed to just fake like he was going to go, but he barely made it back in. So there you see a nice job that time by the catcher Landis as he threw down to Weivel back there and throw over to first as well, and Weivel able to pick that. You could see he almost thought he had him on the pick play. Vasiri throws over to Weivel there. Always nice when you have a left-handed fielding first baseman to drop that tag down quick too. Little away that time. Nice job by Landis, able to work out there, and that'll make it 2-1 the count. Pettit on first. Nobody out here, bottom of the third inning. That ball peeled away foul. Orioles have mixed and matched a few young players who've played up on the Junior Legion team too. Patrick Borderwick and Kenny Ferrulli have also seen some time on the Junior Legion team, and they're also playing on the 15 AAA team. So that's worked out well for the Orioles. Nice block that time as that ball was down in the dirt, and a nice job by Landis collapsing on that one. Full count. We'll see if the Orioles put Pettit in motion here. No sign from Bissonnette over at third if he's running any plays, so it looks like he's going to stay put. That one sawed off over the first pitcher's head. Going to be a tough chance all the way around. Thrown into left field, unfortunately, for Benilde. That ball, just some bad fortune for Benilde that time, as Remfer had his bat sawed off and he hit it just barely over Vasiri's head. Unfortunately for Benilde, Chris Philbin, the second baseman, bobbled it momentarily. Then he tried to get the force at second, but he threw wide to Ricchini. So a little bit of fortune here to start off the bottom of the third inning. And I'm going to give that one an E4. That's how Remfer reached. And that'll bring up Joey Jaramillo, who singled to center in his first at bat. That ball taken for a strike down and away. As we mentioned, Joey been getting he got a lot of varsity time at second base this year as a 10th grader, and he's been moving back and forth between Junior Legion and Legion as they needed him. Wouldn't be surprised if he played in the Legion game tonight as well. So he offers out a bunt, pulls it, and he does not pull it back in time as that ball was outside. Good idea by Coach Bissonnette, trying to move the runners up to second and third with no out. But unfortunately, Joey couldn't pull the bunt back, and that's going to make it an 0-2 count. Vasiri tries to just shave that corner that time, and that'll make it a ball and 2 strikes. I should mention Joe Burnley had also been playing some with the Junior Legion and Legion, but he's been hurt as he's had some shoulder problems that bothered him and haven't allowed him to pitch the whole high school or Legion season, and he's dinged up, I guess, as well today. So ball peeled foul and out of play. Count will ride along at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned Joey hitting 360 with 10 RBIs on the season. Nice curveball, and hung a little bit inside, and Joey just a little out front of that, and he swings and misses on that offering. That'll bring up Keller, who singled in the first inning as well. First and second, 1 down. Pettit at second, Remfer at first base. Ball down in the dirt. Gets by the catcher momentarily. The throw down to third in the dirt. Almost goes into left field, but it stopped momentarily that time. Not much Landis could do with that ball. It did get by him on a low pitch, and did a nice job. Got some help from the base there as it popped off the base. Otherwise, it might have been in left field. Connor Day had a good friend in that base there. That ball taken for a strike. That make the count 1 ball and 1 strike. So runners in scoring position at second and third now because of the wild pitch. Big swing on the breaking ball again. Now Biddy home there. Orioles trying to loosen the notch a little bit with their swings that time. And there he freezes him after throw. You can say he really pitched backwards that time through the breaking balls early in the count. And then he got him with a frozen on a fastball for strike 3. And that'll bring up Archie Olsen again with 2 outs. Again, 2 runners on base like he did in the first inning. If Archie can deliver here. Went down looking the first time up. Big left-handed batter. Also done a nice job on the hill for the Orioles. That ball peeled back right towards us. As we mentioned, Archie leading the team with 14 RBIs and 7 doubles and hitting a robust .531. That breaking ball lined. Oh, what a beautiful play by Ricchini at short as he dives to his right and makes a nice job on that one. Deep after a couple of plays, the Red Knights might not have liked the beautiful job that time. Olsen hits it hard, and Ricchini goes hard to his right, dives, and right off the shoe tops for out number 3. We're going to step away momentarily, but as we do, the score will be right along at 2-0 after 3 innings here. Stick with us here on Park 16.
Hi, I'm Betty White, and I'd like you to meet my friend here. This is Red. He's a puppy with a very special job to do, to be a guide dog for someone who is blind. Together, they'll travel the world in safety and with confidence. Guide dogs for the blind provide their services free of charge, thanks to the generosity of people like you. Please visit guidedogs.com to learn how to help today.
Working on my suntan getting darker. You see it?
Nice tan going there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm almost blue.
Yeah, we can. All right, we're back to start the top of the 4th inning here. Jason Keller riding along as the Orioles starter. This is Alex Messer who leads it off for Benilde. Alex popped up on a bunt attempt as he tried to move some runners over in the 2nd inning. One and one is the count. That ball shot towards Jared Miller went short. Tough hop with the bounce. Not going to be able to get him as Messer's got good speed. And indeed, same kind of hop that Ricchini had last inning. Same kind of hop there. And Joey stick with it, but Messer with too good of wheels to beat that out. So he did a nice job getting in front of that, and then he did the right thing, bare hand picking that up, and he almost got him, but Messer with good wheels. So he'll lead off the top of the 4th with getting on in the air, and that'll bring up Connor Day, who singled down the left field line last time up in the 2nd inning. Nice bunt attempt. Going to go foul there. Everybody kind of looking back. There was definitely an element of surprise there as Archie Olsen wasn't really popping off the mound for that play, and Keller didn't look like he was flying off either, so that's an element of surprise. Fastball up and away. Nordstrom not able to do much with that. Already riding along here in the top of the 4th inning. That one up high as well. Just doing some charting of pitching. I believe entering this inning, Keller had thrown 61 pitches over 3 innings. Right on the corner that time. Make it 2-2. The series has been very economical on the mound for Benilde as well. As I mentioned, he only threw 26 pitches the first 2 innings, and throw over to first. Messer able to get back. Pettit tries to slap the tag on. I did not catch the name of both the Benilde coaches today, but I did visit real briefly with them, and they informed me that they were involved with the Benilde-St. Margaret's football staff as well. And that ball shot towards left as well. That's going to blow out of play here. This is Connor Day. 2-2 with nobody out here, top of the 4th inning. Big lead for Messer over at first. Let's see if they send him. He's going to stay put. That one is shot to third base, and it's going to be over the head of Archie Olsen and fall aimlessly into left field there for a single. Almost an excuse me reach out punch hit, and it was over Archie Olsen's head, and Jaramillo couldn't get there in time. So Day with a little punch single. As you can see, that was almost a half swing. Olsen tries to go back over his head, but he just can't get to it. So, and that'll bring up. Yeah, he might have hurt his hamstring. Good call. He kind of went weak. I don't know if anybody noticed that, coaching staff or not, but he is kind of limping a little bit that time. Nice job by Nordstrom on the catch. They're going to try to double him off a second on it. And the beautiful backhanded catch by Brody Ryan, able to receive that from Nordstrom on the short hop. And a beautiful double play. Paul, I don't know if we have both sides of that, but Betcher tried to bunt and square around and sacrifice bunt. Nordstrom dives, catches that ball, then he one hops to throw to second, and Ryan has to backhand that on a short hop in order to double him off. So just a beautiful play all the way around. That's just fantastic baseball. So that'll bring up top of the order here, and here's Chris Landis again. Landis coming to bat for the third time. He struck out and flew to left. I'll take it. Paul Broden, our director, made a nice point right before we called that play with Nordstrom and Ryan that it looked like the third baseman, Archie Olsen, might have hurt his hamstring when he went back on that pop-up because he was really favoring it. And I was watching him kind of run in on that bunt attempt, and he was seemingly favoring it a little. So So 1-1 is the count here. Now there's 2 down, and it's just Day over at first. And a nice strike. That was just a beautiful play both way around by Nordstrom and by Brody Ryan at second. That was just wonderful to see. So ball and 2 strikes is the count here. Strike 3, and that'll do it, boys. So what started out as a tough inning is saved by a nice defensive play by Nordstrom and Ryan, and then called strike 3 on Landis, and that's going to put us through the top of the 4th inning as we ride along. No runs on 1 hit and only 1 left that time. Still 2-0 here. See Danny Bissonette bringing the charges together to talk about some things. I think he's got to be pretty happy with all things considered. The ball that was hit to Jaramillo was a really tough chance, but that he did a nice job just blocking on, but the Orioles responded with a nice double play. So the series cruising right along. I had him for 26 pitches through the first 2 innings, and then last inning he threw had him for 19 last inning, so pretty good, Paul. He's only had 45 pitches through 3 innings. That's pretty good. He's certainly been in control, and I don't believe he's walked a batter yet. So he's pitched backwards pretty well, thrown a few curves on occasion and some changes. So nope, same guy, John Viseri, still pitching out there, number 5. So we mentioned, I'm not sure if he finished his 9th grade year or 10th grade year. Dominic, maybe I could call on you for a couple of questions. Most of the boys just finished 10th grade. I know your son finished 9th. Any other young ages you want to?
We have 4 freshmen out there, 4 upcoming sophomores on the team.
Okay, so 4 kids that just finished freshman, your son included, and then which other guys?
There's Jack Quaylen.
Jack Quaylen.
Jack Quaylen.
Is John just finished 9th grade or 10th?
John is going to be a junior next year.
Okay.
Jameson Shue and Pete Valerius.
Okay, so Pete Valerius and Jameson Shue are the other kids. So 4 kids that are just going into 10th grade here. So thank you. Wanted to call on you and your expertise. So Andrew Henstein leading it off the bottom of the 4th for Park. He grounded to grounded to second last time. High with that curveball. 1-1. Ball and 2 to Henstein, leading off the bottom of the 4th. That breaking ball, boy, just missed. I thought he might have rung him up there for strike 3. Just missed with the curve that time. Orioles with only 2 hits through the first 3 innings, both back-to-backers in the first from Jaramillo and Keller. That fastball gets in a little bit on the hands there and it's fouled off. Plenty of velocity for Vasiri, who will be a junior for Benilde next year, or this fall, I should say. Already in the middle of July. These kids are winding down the Junior Legion season. The state tournament for Junior Legion starts on the 23rd, so we've only got 10 days or so left of the regular season. Nice breaking ball for strike 3. That's going to lock them up right there. Another called third on the curveball there. He's got the Orioles guessing, and he's getting that over consistently, so he hasn't walked a batter that I believe either, so really good strikes and only, officially. So that'll bring up Kyle Nordstrom, who bounced to third last time up. So one down here in the bottom of the 4th. The catcher, Kyle Nordstrom, made that great play to almost end the inning last time on dive on the bunt attempt and the throw down to Brody Ryan. That ball shot up the middle. Let's see if Benilde can put a glove on it. Indeed they do. Throw over to first place, and they are going to record the out there as Chris Philbin with a nice play as he throws it over to Tyler Wyville for the out. When he first hit that, I thought that maybe he was going to shoot up the middle for Nordstrom, but Philbin arranged far to his right and really put a nice squeeze on that to throw him out here. So that'll bring up Brody Ryan, who made that nice stretch play at second base on the back end of the double play last inning. That ball shot over to right field here, or excuse me, to left field foul. Brody grounded out to short his first time up in the second inning. Count will ride along at 1 and 2 here as that ball's fouled into the, almost makes it into the tree, into the forest there. Make sure you don't climb those fences, fans. There's a lot of poison ivy back there, so watch out. Don't need anybody scratching. Dominic, let's make sure we don't have anybody hopping those fences for the poison ivy back there. Yeah, Paul wants to know how I know about the poison ivy, but Paul, no comment. No comment. So Brody fouls that one off again, too. Brody's a really interesting story, Dom. He's an all-conference tennis player who, yeah, right, and he was #1 singles for Park this year as a 9th grader, too, and yeah, and playing ball for you guys for a lot of years, yeah. Yeah. Good, yeah, good. That was a great stretch on that double play he made, too, yeah. Beautiful. Count will right along at 2 and 2 here. Vasiri still hasn't walked the batter. Good control. I remember that from Little League, that he always threw a lot of strikes, and then he locked another guy up there in that inside corner. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's got 5 Ks already, and 4 of them are looking. But he's pitching backwards a lot too. So that'll get us through 4 complete here. The score rides along at 2-0. Make sure you don't change that channel. We've got 3 more innings of baseball as these teams will compete hard. Stay with us here on Cable 16.
Ah, the comforts of home, of gathering around a meal, spending time with loved ones in a safe, warm place. Millions would love to live in a house just like yours. Maybe they already do. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
You cover two teams, and then that's nice too for the parents. There you take a look at one of the scouts in attendance, Joel Ricchini. Does a lot of freelance work for Major League Baseball Scouting Bureau, I think Joel does. He's right there taking a look and scouting. He's a longtime friend, part of the Benilde contingent. I can't call them the Chester Birders. I'm still going to call them Benilde. I'm sorry. So as we get ready to start the top of the fifth inning here, leading it off, the number 2 hole hitter, Chris Philbin. Philbin with a nice play at second base last inning. Chris, 1 for 2 on the day with a double. There you take a look at Jason Keller, bearing down again. That one inside again, and Philbin with a nice job getting out of the way. This game has really blown pretty fast, as we're only an hour and 5 into the game, knock on wood, and we're already in the 5th inning, so that's a good sign. Knock on wood, Paul. Paul always likes it when the games go multiple extra innings and time limits are exceeded, I know. That one peeled foul as well. I believe that's going to make the count 2-2, having a momentary scoreboard malfunction, but it is 2-2. 2, 3, 4 hitters, Philbin, Hogan, and Weibel will lead it off for Benilde-St. Margaret's. That one inside again, almost hit him. He's barely able to get out of the way. So Jason trying to really establishing that inside corner. Oh, and he is able to shave that outside corner, and it starts it off with a called third strike. So already the 5th strikeout for Keller as well. Him and Visiri have matched strikeouts so far, and that'll bring up Isaac Hogan, who's 0 for 2 officially as the number 3 hole hitter. He went down looking his last at bat and grounded out up the middle his first at bat. A little high with that fastball. So we mentioned really both pitchers done a nice job. Visiri has not walked one batter, and the only 2 batters that Keller walked were in that 2nd inning when they played it a run. So that really has got to be a nice thing for both of them to see. So that'll make it 1-1 the count on Hogan here. That one peeled foul as well, make it a ball and 2 strikes. That one up and away as well on Hogan, and that'll make it 2-2 is the count. We seem to have lost our scoreboard operator. That's okay. It's a volunteer position, so we'll work with the umpire. That one sawed off it on the hands. Ryan ranging to his left. Oh, and he went hard, but unfortunately he went right by the ball, and unfortunately that's going to result in a I believe we're going to have to call that an error on Hogan, because he went to his left hard, had the glove down, and then he partially had it in the mitt, but it did pop out. So a 1-out error will allow Tyler Weibel to come to the plate with first base occupied. Weibel officially 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out to short and also a strikeout. It is officially, Paul, our crack director, did ask a poignant question. It is 2 runs on, that is right, 2 runs on 5 hits for Benilde and no runs on 2 hits for Park. Bunt. Errors, let's see. Okay, I've got 3 errors on Park officially. 3 errors on Park, yep, because 1 was an E6, that was an E4, and then 1 was an error on the right fielder that got a second. So 3 errors for Park, and 2 for Benilde. So 2 for Benilde, 3 for the Orioles, or the Railcats. They're always going to be the Red Knights and the Orioles to me, even though they're the Chester Birds and the Railcats. So Wyville again, 1-2 count with 1 out. Down in the dirt, that gets by Nordstrom in the 5-hole, and unfortunately Hogan's going to be able to skedaddle down to second. We're going to call that a pass ball as that got between his legs. So 2-2 is the count here on Wyville. Christopher Ricchini in the on-deck circle, the shortstop. That ball hit hard to Ryan. He stays down on it. Oh, but it goes through him again, and that's going to be an error as well. And that's going to play to run. So bad fortune the last 2 times for the pitcher for St. Louis Park, Jason Keller, as 2 consecutive errors are going to play Isaac Hogan in the 3rd run of the game. And that one was a hard-hit ball. Ryan did a nice job staying down on it, but I think at the very end he pulled his head up and then went right through him, so he's not going to be happy with that. So here's Ricchini with a nice single and a walk. He scored 1 run, stole 2 bases, and he got a nice hole on the right side to hit it through. Orioles are partially shaded towards right field. The center fielder Remfer shaded a little bit over to right, but the right fielder is way off the line. If Ricchini hits it hard on the ground, he could run all day down the line. And that one's hit into the gap. That's going to be a single for sure. Hit hard. Remfer was playing him the right way, but another nice hit by Ricchini. And that's a nice single for him, and that'll move Wyville over to second here. Still just 1 out because of the 2 miscues. And looks like the Orioles and Coach Bissonette are going to make the long walk out there. Jason really did nothing wrong that inning. He should have been out of it with the strikeout and the 2 error balls, but hopefully he can maintain composure. It is still only a 3-0 game. Officially, there's a 3rd run in here, and you can see good time for a visit. You know, sometimes when you get a fielding miscue or 2 behind you, it's human nature to either try too hard or to try to get out of your comfort zone, and Danny wanted to make sure he could settle him down there a little bit. So, and that'll bring up Jack Quaylen, who's officially 1 for 2 on the day. Got a single in his first at bat, and he hit a ground ball over to Joey Jaramillo at short last time. Jaramillo holding on Wyville at second. That ball peeled away. So Wyville on at second, Ricchini on at first. Quaylen up to bat with only 1 out. 1 run in for BSM in the top of the 5th inning. That ball hit in for a single by Quaylen into left field. Hit hard, and everybody's gonna move up 90 feet on that single into left field. So that'll load the bases with 1 out. Wyville at third, Ricchini at second. Quaylen gets his 2nd hit of the day, and that'll bring up Alex Messer, who has attempted to bunt twice and had the pitcher catch one, and then last time he had the catcher caught his bunt, Kyle Nordstrom, and started a nice double play. Beautiful diving play by Kyle. So 1 down. Orioles are going to play the infield up at first and third, and we're going to play double play depth in the middle. So see what happens here. That's going to make it 2-0 on Messer. Orioles do have a change we should notice, as Paul had mentioned last inning that Archie Olsen appeared to pull his hamstring, the third baseman. That ball shot into center field. Remfer got a beat on it. He's going to catch it. No time for a tag as Remfer throws a strike on in. Remfer playing just kind of medium shallow center. The ball hit hard on a line, but unfortunately for Benilde, Wyville was about 15 feet off the base, and that was probably hit too shallow for a quality tag play. So that line out will make it 2 down and bring up Connor Day, who's officially 2 for 2 with a check swing single to left and a blooper to left. So 2 singles to left for Day. And that one popped up to third as well, and the new third baseman in for St. Louis Park going to squeeze that in foul territory, and that allows me to mention that, finish my thought, that Archie Olsen had to leave the game after last inning. Paul had mentioned in the truck that indeed there was a pulled hamstring or a slight tweak of the hamstring. And I believe that was Nate Orton that was brought in there to play third base, and Nate Orton made the squeeze on that at third. So, should mention as well, Adam Belzer on the team for St. Louis Park. I don't know if we've seen him yet in the game, but we might as well. Orioles just carrying 11 on the roster right now. A couple of the kids are playing 15 AAA, and they also have a game tonight, too. We should mention, too, as you take a look at the crowd, special shout-out to the 13 AAA St. Louis Park baseball team, who I believe is ranked 12th in the state now. That's a nice group of young athletes for St. Louis Park, as I know, I believe Willie Basil's in that group, and Johnny Sorensen, and several other ball players that had success the last couple years and have moved up from A to AA and now in their second year AAA. Nice shot of the water tower in the background. And Visiri cruising right along here into the bottom of the fifth. Benilde able to plate another run that inning and extend their lead to 3-0. That very well might be it for the pitcher, Jason Keller, as he's exceeded roughly over 100 pitches now right in that area. We'll see what they do. And this looks like Adam Pettit is, or excuse me, Keenan Kneisel is going to lead off the bottom of the fifth for St. Louis Park. Nice shot of Visiri there. We should mention, do have a couple volunteer interns working our cameras today. Want to give a shout out to them. I know they're under the direction of Paul, and there are some opportunities if you're interested in learning more about communications or photography, or you're going to school for that. Make sure you contact Jamie Zwilling over at City Hall if you're interested in maybe getting an internship with one of the park channels. That ball chopped down the third baseline, and it is going to go foul. Just a beautiful day to be out here. I hope, Paul, our interns really appreciate the fact that they've got some great weather and at least they're enjoying some nice baseball on a nice night. So, popped into short center field. Looks like Ricchini's going to call that all the way, and he does a nice job two-handing that for the first out of the inning. So, that'll bring up Adam Pettit batting ninth. Adam got a single his first at bat and was stranded at third base. So Orioles officially with 3 hits on the game, not 2, my apologies, 3 hits on the game for St. Louis Park. But we've only had 1 hit in the last 4 innings. So Visiri's really tamed the sticks and mixed it up with his fastball and his breaking ball and shown excellent control. Bullpen is active down the left field line for Benilde-St. Margaret's. I don't know if I can get a number on who's throwing all the way down there, but looks like they do have somebody else in mind. Perhaps they've got a game tomorrow and want to extend a opportunity there. Visiri just shaves the corner there. Nice job as well on that pitch. As we mentioned, John hasn't walked anybody for the Red Knights and just allowed the 2 hits in the first inning and then 1 in the that one up and in, can make it 2-1. I've officially got him for 5 strikeouts, and 4 of them are looking and only 1 swinging. So that's a good sign that he's really mixing things up and confusing the hitters as to what might be coming too. Right down the middle that time as well. So that 2-1 pitch was a fastball right down the middle, and Adam took it. TJ Repfer in the on-deck circle. That ball chopped to third. Going to be a really tough play. I tell you what, I'm going to give that a single because that was an extremely hard play. I don't think he would have made that under normal circumstances. So officially, I'm going to give Pettit a hit on that. I don't know what the official score is going to give, but you can see that really rode up on him. Not much he could have done with that. So Day made a nice effort. So Pettit on first with 1 down, and Rempher again. He's officially 0 for 2. Made contact both times. Reached last time on an error by the second baseman. The series velocity to me has improved slightly as the game's gone on. He's actually gotten a little stronger, and yeah, boy, I guess they did. And that is a I guess I got to give him an error too, but I tell you, that's a tough error, don't you? Well, and it's a short hop, and it's just like concrete out there. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I guess that's the joys of playing third base. Oh, no, that's shot into right field, and a nice job that time by Rempher, just taking what's offered to him, and he's going to get that. He's going to get that single out of there. And I tell you, even a better play by Pettit. I don't know if we have that on tape, Paul, but that ball almost hit. Ball almost hit Pettit on the second bounce, and if it would have, he would have been out on the play. But he really had to pay attention and make sure he avoided getting hit by that. So this might be the chance the Orioles needed. First and second with 1 down, and Joey Jaramillo and Jason Keller up next. Joey 1 for 2 on the day with a single. He's in the 2-hole for St. Louis Park, playing shortstop today. That ball down and away. Joey that time. Well, that one right on the corner there. Nice pitch on the 1-1 pitch. He just shaved that corner down and away. That curveball hit hard right to Ricchini at short, and I'll tell you what, a really tough chance that time. Not much Ricchini could have done with that, because unfortunately for Benilde-St. Margaret's and Ricchini, Adam Pettit was running slowly right before that, and he was right in front of Ricchini when that ball was hit. I don't know if we have that on tape, Paul, but he literally blocked the view of Ricchini, and then that ball bounced. He really didn't have a vision for it, so they're going to give Ricchini an error on that grounder. Jaramillo, watch this if you can see where Pettit is. Pettit is right there, and he just momentarily blocks the vision of Ricchini, who stops the ball, but just the bobble cost him the chance to get Jaramillo. So 2 errors and a single have loaded the bases with 1 down, and we'll see if Jason Keller, as the 3-hole hitter, can do anything, as the Orioles are down 3-0 with 1 out and bases loaded. And he was looking for a fastball, and indeed he got it, but he was a little early on it. So this is the time. Last time Jason is 1 for 2. Last time when he got ahead of him on 1-1, he threw him a curveball to get ahead 1-2, and then he locked him up with a fastball for a called third strike. Here's the curveball again, and he likes to throw that 0-1 and get you 0-2 there. So 1-1 as Jason takes that breaking ball. Down and away that time. 2-1 is the count. We mentioned Vasiri still has not walked a batter. Right on the corner when he needed it there. Beautiful pitch, and not much that Keller's going to be able to do with that. So now a lot of options here, 2-2. He's showing a good curveball, ability to get it over. Indeed, that's what he goes with, a check swing softly down the third baseline, a fair ball. They're going to go home for the force, and a beautiful play that time on the force play, as that was a tough chance. And I'll tell you what, Connerday charged that ball at third base and threw a strike to Chris Landis. And it was just a check swing on the fielder's choice by Keller, and that ball was just dribbled down the third baseline. Day had no other play except to go home, and that's indeed what he did, as he retired Pettit on a 5-2 put out. So that'll reload the bases and bring up number 25 in the game for St. Louis Park. As we mentioned, Archie Olsen was batting in this spot, but he had to come out, and this is Nate Orton. Nate on the day hasn't batted yet. He's officially 4 for 10 on the season. That ball chopped foul. Excuse me, 4 for 8 on the season. Don't know if he's had some injuries or 4 RBIs on his 4 hits though. A couple of walks, so. But unfortunately he's 0-2 here. Boy, he did a nice job fouling that off. I think that's going to get out of play, and indeed it does, as it almost hits one of the spectators. So Vasiri working ahead in that count again like he has all day. There's another, and he gets him for a strike through there. So really nice pitching job that time, because the bases were loaded with 1 out on a couple of errors, and he fought back and got a slow chopper on a fielder's choice and then a swinging strike 3. So that'll put us through 5. Officially, the Orioles, they get 1 hit. A couple of Benilde-St. Margaret's errors pushes their error total up to 5. And with 5 complete, Benilde-St. Margaret 3, St. Louis Park nothing. Stay with us for exciting Junior Legion baseball.
Hey, Joe. Are you a male living in the United States or U.S. citizen overseas between the ages of 18 and 26? If you are required to register with the Selective Service System. Yes, you. Guys living in the United States and U.S. citizens abroad are required to register within 30 days before or 30 days after their 18th birthday. It's the law, and there are severe penalties if you don't register. However, registering with Selective Service ensures that you will remain eligible for student loans, government jobs, job training, and in many states, even your driver's license. More important than anything else, registering with Selective Service is a crucial part of becoming an adult and acknowledging your duties as an American citizen. It's simple and easy. You can register online at sss.gov or your local post office.
Here at Derrick Keller Field, a nice crowd on hand and fresh into the game on the hill for St. Louis Park. The Sidewinder, the Submariner Nate Orton, just finished his sophomore year for St. Louis Park. He's in the game after Jason Keller threw 5 innings, surrendered 3 hits. Nate, I know Coach Olson was telling me he's trying to get him even to throw more submarine style because it's such a crossfire mix-up and you hardly ever see these side armors. He's way on the third base side of the rubber, and when he throws sidearm, it makes it really hard to pick that ball up. And you can see that one breaks right over the middle. Not a lot of fun if you're in there batting against that. So this will be number 2 there as well. Yeah, he's really a strike thrower. This is Nick Grebe now batting for Benilde. Grebe now batting for Betcher. And 3 fastballs. A third one hit between first and second. Going to be a tough play for the second baseman, and indeed Ryan isn't able to quite get there in time. I was momentarily blocked. I did not see whether that just rolled through cleanly. Yeah, I thought that was a ball that probably should have been fielded, but it did get through, and we'll have to score that a single by Grebe, who's now in the game. That'll push us back to the top of the order. Yeah, just kind of sawed it off. It's just a slow little chopper. But yeah, Brody couldn't quite get there in time. Orioles going to have a meeting on the mound. These are always my favorite. Danny goes out there. They're talking about what they're doing after the game. Well, I'm thinking, what do you think? Italian? Nah. Who's buying the beer? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to go to the Apple River tomorrow? Or are you thinking Valley Fair? If we get a couple runs, I mean, maybe I can get us to Valley Fair. What do you think? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if anybody remembers the movie Bull Durham, but where the pitching coach goes out to visit the players, and all they want to talk about is what would makes good gifts for the wedding party. So the pitching coach has to give them feedback. Well, that'll bring up number 16 for the Red Knights. This is, I believe, Chris Landis. And Philbin is on the on-deck circle. Officially 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. And that one also strike 2 as he's thrown 5 pitches and 5 strikes. You can see why it's even if Nate just comes in and throws that 2-seam fastball when he gets that running movement as an underhand or side armor like that. A real close stance. Boy, that's a tough pitch too. So that'll ride the count wrong at a ball and 2 strikes. Not a lot of fun to bat against. Nate sporting the high stirrups. A lot of the guys like those orange and black stirrups in the park. Oh, that one shot into right, and that ball's hit well. Might be a possible double play. Throw back to first. Not in time. Boy, beautiful, nice catch that time by the right fielder, though. Yeah, it was a really nice throw out there. You see on the catch, it was no problem getting to that ball. And then Andrew Henstein just threw a rocket into Adam Pettit to try to retire the runner. So that'll make it 1 down as Greeby remains at first. And that'll bring up Philbin, who's officially 1 for 3, doubled and scored in the first inning. And that's strike 1 as well. So lots of strikes by Nate Orton coming in here and really proving why he's a submarining specialist. This is where you want to pick up and become a switch hitter if you're a right-handed batter. I want to bat left against this guy. But they're doing a good job hanging in there. I tell you, if Nate develops any type of a moving curveball, boy, he's just going to get those right-handed hitters bailing out big time too. So that one shot into right as well. Nice piece of hitting. That's going to be a clean single. They're going to try to throw him out at first. Boy, nice job again by Henstein. He ranged far to his left and almost was able to retire Philbin. How often do you see that in high school baseball? The right fielder just breaking for the ball. Nice hard throw, just barely missed it. So first and second with still 1 down. They're hitting everything on the right side so far. That's the modus operandi. And that'll bring up Isaac Hogan, the 3-hole hitter, who's 0 for 3 on the day. First and second, Orton looking there, getting a good drop on that pitch as well. As Orton gets bigger and stronger with that fastball, once he increases a little more velocity, it's going to be really tough for those high school hitters to deal with him, I think. That ball up and away a little bit. Ball and a strike. Just 1 down here, first and second, as Greeby and Philbin at second and first. Two and 1 is the count to Hogan here. Right there in the corner, just shaves that corner. That'll make it 2 and 2. Late time call that time. Isaac Hogan and today's home plate umpire both wanted a momentary break, and indeed they got it. Here you take a good look at Nate Orton. Didn't get a report on Archie Olsen. We'll try to update you after the bottom of the 6th inning here as to why he came out of the game. That ball chopped back to Nate. He's got a force at third, and he makes the right choice. Just gets the easy force at third as his body was taking him in that direction, and he made the nice flip over to, over to number 14 for St. Louis Park. Keenan Kneisel. So 2 down now, and that'll bring up Tyler Weibel, who officially 0 for 3 on the day. Haven't had an exorbitant amount of hits. That one shot up the middle, and that could be one. Hard hit into Renfrew, but it hits so hard. Throw coming home. Beautiful throw right on the line, and he would have been out. So nice job by Renfrew as Weibel hit that so hard, but TJ Renfrew did a nice job ranging in on that and got that clean. So nothing materializes because of that. 2 down here. Sacks full of Chesterburg, Benilde-St. Margaret's players. And that'll bring up Christopher Ricchini. He's been on base all 3 times, last 2 times with singles. A little more oomph on that one. His father, Joel Ricchini, in the stands, and Mrs. Ricchini. Just misses a little bit up and away. So 2-0, he's in the driver's seat. Bases loaded here, 2 down. Down and away, and you bet he's probably got the take sign here with a 3-0. Yep, he goes to the visor twice, the third base coach. That's got to mean take here, so. Philbin on third. Hogan on second. Oh, and that one will be up and in. So 3-1 good hitters count here. As we mentioned, Philbin on third, Hogan second, and Weibel on first with the clean single. 3-1 count to Christopher Vladimir Ricchini. Good take, so he brings in a run there with a bases loaded walk. And that'll bring in Philbin with the 4th run of the game. That'll move up Hogan to third and Weibel to second. And that'll bring up Jack Quaylen. Center field, Quaylen a couple of hits and a ground out on the day. Little high riser that time by Nate. So 1 run in officially here. Officially 3 hits on the inning. Nice swing that time, unable to catch up is Quaylen. 1-1 with 2 down. Oh, throw back behind the runner, and a beautiful throw that time by Nordstrom as they throw behind the runner and get Ricchini. Didn't think he was out, but with only a home plate umpire, not much you could tell there. Throw goes down, and nice job by Nordstrom going behind the runner. Oh, but maybe he was out. It was a bang play, that's for sure. But either way, Benilde is able to corral another run on the inning, and that'll make the score officially 4-0 here after 5.5. Danny Bissonette gathering the troops. So we mentioned if you do want to get a copy of today's game or any of the games that ever air on Park 16, I don't know, Paul, if you can put up the graphic or if we have it up there, but you can go to ParkTV.org. That's ParkTV.org. If you ever want to see the replay times of any of the games on any of the stations. And then if you want to call Paul to get a copy of this game or any of the games, it's $15 to buy a DVD, or if you buy 3 or more, it's $10 a piece. And Paul, is your number again 952-924-2635? Okay, I apologize, I don't remember. Anyway, just call City Hall. Okay, he thinks it's 2635, and if not, his name's Paul Broden, and just call City Hall. And I apologize, Paul. I have your cell phone now, but anyway, but it's a good deal. Especially you get 3 or more, and Paul burns those DVDs and sends them out as prompt as he can. Usually, they make a great stocking stuffer, don't they, Paul? Make 2635. So 952-924-2635, and if you do want to get DVDs or you have any feedback or ideas, if you want to, throw compliments out to the announcer, you really appreciate his good work. All right, we'll lead off the bottom of the 6th this time. Benilde against St. Louis Park, and here's Andrew Henstein going to lead it off for the Orioles. Number 9, Henstein. Henstein, the 5-hole hitter. He's 0 for 2 on the game officially. Nice breaking ball that time by Vasiri. He just keeps up with the message, and like we said, he threw 73 pitches through 5 innings so far, but if you take away the 2 errors the last inning, he'd be down somewhere around 65 pitches, which is fantastic. 12-13 in at bat. So 1-2 count right along as Henstein, Nordstrom, and Ryan. I'll try to get things going in the bottom of the 6th. Only a 7-inning game, so curveball. Howard, one of the few balls we've seen hit into center field. Center fielder, I believe is that Quaylen running in, who's going to squeeze that for the first out of the inning. So ball hit towards center, and that'll bring up Nordstrom, who has made a couple nice defensive plays on the throw back to end last inning to pick off the runner, and then on the double play earlier. Kyle, we mentioned 0 for 2 on the game. Brody Ryan in the on-deck circle. Some of the other young men we haven't seen in the game today that have got playing time. Eric Weisberg has played a lot for the team. Elliott Slade. We mentioned Danny Foltz, Kenny Ferrulli. We haven't seen Adam Belzer. There's a ball and a strike on a nice swing. And mentioned Pat Borderwick, who just finished 9th grade, has got some good at-bats too. So some good talent coming up for the Orioles. And he just keeps riding right along as Nordstrom going to go to a 1-2 count here. So Siri's throwing a 3-hitter out there. He's only given up 1 hit since the first inning. Two and 2 with Brody Ryan on the on-deck circle, and then Keenan Kneisel if they can keep things moving here. That curveball hit to third. Day going to field that cleanly. Nice throw over the top to Weisel, and they're going to retire him on a nice 5-3 putout. Day did a nice job just waiting back on that ball. Let that come to him. Made a nice clean throw over to first. And that'll bring up Brody Ryan, your second baseman today. That ball inside again. We're happy we could bring you this Junior Legion game. It's the second Junior Legion game of the season. We were able to bring you through St. Louis Park. Most of the kids that are on the 15 AAA team were that 1 ball, 1 strike, or played Babe Ruth this year, will get a chance to try out in the fall for the Junior Legion and Legion team for next year. So make sure you follow the St. Louis Park baseball website to find out more information on the tryouts in the fall. That ball shot into right field, and Quaylen with good speed going to track that down. Nice contact by Ryan, but that's going to make the 3rd out of the 6th inning. So 1, 2, 3, 6, and Vasiri will cruise along with his shutout intact. Make sure you stick with us for the 7th inning. 1 more inning to go here. Stay with us on Park 16. We'll be right back with the 7th inning.
Everyone thinks my husband's a great guy, but I'm not happy with the way things are going. I'm starting to dread his weekend drinking. I start to feel tense every Friday because I know exactly what's coming. He's talkative and full of energy on Saturday morning, but by afternoon he starts to get loud and scary. He keeps on drinking until he passes out Saturday night. It starts over again on Sunday. What really scares me is his behavior reminds me of my father. I really hoped for something better. My neighbor, a school counselor, told me to try Al-Anon family groups. I didn't think weekend drinking was that serious, but I heard Al-Anon members whose situation sounded a lot like mine. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-ALANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
All right, we're back as you take a look at the tools of the trade here. It's got the, looks like that young man's got the orange batting gloves, although I think he was with the Benilde team, so maybe that was red. I didn't quite catch that color. Yeah, there's a slight discrepancy on the official board. I believe what we have is right, Paul. Anyway, officially 4-0 here. Is Jack Quaylen, who made 2 putouts last inning for Benilde, will lead off the top of the 7th inning. He was at the plate when Christopher Ricchini was picked off. Officially, he's 2 for 3 on the day. Game flying right along here. Orton, the Submariner, a little bit high that time. 3-0. He was bit by 1 walk last inning. Doesn't want to start off leading off the 7th, but he's in a 3-0 predicament here. And that'll be 4 and put him on to lead it off, and that'll bring up Alex Messer. Although I'm not sure if that's Alex Messer. 4 for 6. Indeed, I was right. 4 is pinch hitting. This is Connor Dieterding. Connor Dieterding, number 4. Batting for Messer, Dieterding. I think I know that name too. Big stockily put young man. Right-handed batter. Takes that on an inside corner. Tough pitch for the first one to see. So Messer officially leaves the game 0 for 3. He attempted 2 bunts, which were each caught, and then he lined out to center his last time up. Shaves the outside corner there for an 0-2's job. Quaylen, good speed over at first base. No, he's a hockey player, and he can run. I think Dieterding is too. Runs pretty good. Ball chopped to first. Oh, and it goes right through the first baseman's legs. Nobody there. Unfortunately, Adam Pettit not able to get a glove on that, and we've got to put that as an error, Paul. So that's officially, I believe, the 6th error on St. Louis Park. It's an E3 there. That's too bad because that was kind of a tailor-made, probably double play ball. And unfortunately, 1st and 2nd, and that'll bring up Connor Day again, who's reached two out of the 3 times he's reached. Officially with 2 singles. Yeah, nobody's going to write home on either team about some of the defensive miscues, but mostly it's a tough field with the grass being cut so short, and we've been having a sun-baked field for 2 weeks with little moisture, so that ball peeled foul off the Edina Legion team stepping forward, as they're going to be playing St. Louis Park next in the next game of the night in a exciting Junior Legion doubleheader, so make sure you get a chance to watch that game. Edina was the state champion for Legion last year and has been on a great run this year. I believe they have 3 Division I recruits, and they just went 5-0 to win the Delano tournament. Just beat Eden Prairie last week, so it'll be a tall order for St. Louis Park, but we'll have that covered for you today. So. That ball just sprays away that time. 3-1 is the count. Three and 1, still nobody out. Quaylen at second. They gonna shoot that to third base. I think there's room for the third baseman. Does he have a beat on it? Oh, unfortunately, he misplays that. Fortunately, he misplays that one for St. Louis Park. Take a look at that again, and Keenan Canazo went back there. He had a beat on it momentarily, just over his outstretched glove, so that potentially could have been an out too. Count will ride along at 3-2, and that'll miss inside, ball 4. And if you're Nate Orton, you got to be feeling a little bit of snake bit, because the ground ball that was hit over to Pettit at first could have probably been a double play, and then that last ball could have been. And Danny Bissonette will come on out and have another little conference here, as that'll load the bases with one out, or excuse me, with no out. And Grebe will be up, who had a single last time and was cut down on a fielder's choice at third. There he took a look at Danny. He's a 2003 Park grad who was a big hockey player and baseball player. Played baseball at Gustavus, and I know Coach Nunn and Coach Olson have been relying on him a lot. He's been working with Coach Nunn on a lot of the summer program, etc. So that'll bring up Grebe here, top of the 7th inning. Goes up the ladder that time, tries to corral that, unable to do so. Orioles going to play the infield in at the corners. I'm surprised they're not playing the infield in all the way around, down by 4 runs, but maybe with no outs, they just want to make sure it's not a big inning. So that ball shot into right field, and that's going to be at least one, as Quaylen will come in to score. And they're going to hold the runner at third. Ball was momentarily bobbled out that time. But a clean single by Grebe is going to play to run on a nice RBI that time. Quaylen comes around, who had walked, and that'll reload the bases as Dieterding at third, Day at second. And Grebe comes in off the bench for Betcher and delivers 2 hits and 2 at-bats, and that'll bring up top of the order and Chris Landis. Landis wanting to get into the hit party, as Benilde officially has 10 hits on the game. He is 0 for 4 on the game, so he's due, and he could really open things up, as it's officially 5-0 right now. That ball peeled foul as well. Pettit and Canizel still in on the corners for St. Louis Park. That ball sawed off up the middle, and a beautiful backhanded catch by Ryan, and a double play as well. Wow. Nice job that time by Brody Ryan again, as he ranged to his right and caught that beautifully. And then he was able to throw back behind the runner and catch Day, who was about 20 feet off the base, for a double play. So if St. Louis Park's going to have any hope, that's a nice double play that they were able to turn there that time. You had to assume that was going to be up the middle. I really didn't think he was going to get a play on that. So here's Philbin, who's officially 2 for 4 on the day. Philbin with a single and a double. 5-0 as 1 run is in so far. First and third. Dieterding's at third, and Grebe's over at first. We'll see if they do anything with Grebe with 2 outs. Maybe try to steal one. That'll be down and in. Nice job by Nordstrom, able to move out to his right and flag that down. Nice breeze. It was a beautiful night, not too hot. 2-1 to Philbin, right down Broadway, unable to make connection with that. 2-2, and we'll see if they do anything here with Grebe. Grebe on at first. Dieterding over at third. And that'll make it a full count, and Philbin will be off with this pitch. Full count, 2 outs. Or excuse me, not Philbin. Grebe will be off with the pitch as Philbin's batting. Back up the middle, we'll see if Ryan or Jaramillo can corral that. Nice job by Jaramillo on the 6-3 putout. And what could have been a real disaster. The Orioles are at least able to stop the bleeding for one run officially. Officially, I had one run on one hit and one error. The nice double play turned by Brody Ryan, and then that last out of the inning, if we can watch that again, the ball was chopped softly up the middle, and Jaramillo with good speed able to corral that, and then one-hand that over to first base. So it was a nice job that time. Take a look at the Dyna Legion players, fresh off their Delano championship, as I mentioned last weekend. They're ranked in the top 10 in the state and won the state title last year for Legion. So they've got a lot of good ball players on their team. I know the Orioles are looking forward to getting a shot to play them. Parks Legion team plays Edina tonight, and then they're at Eden Prairie tomorrow. So a good challenge this week for the Orioles, and hope we'll have a good turnout for the game. So bottom of the 7th coming. Officially, the line score 5 runs on 11 hits and 4 errors for Benilde. And the Orioles with no runs on 3 hits and 6 errors. And really the story has been Vasiri. He's going to come out of the game after 6 innings. And it looks like number 14 is now in for Benilde. This is Pete Valerius, who's going to be now pitching. This is Pete who's pitching. Okay, I knew him from years back. Yeah, so Pete's coming in. He's just going to go into 10th grade at Benilde. Number 14. There, you take a look at him. So officially for John Vasiri, officially on the game, I had him with 6 innings pitched. He struck out 5 batters, 4 were looking. And he did not issue a walk, and he only issued 3 hits, and only one of the hits was after the first out of the first inning. So the last 5 2/3 innings, he only allowed one hit, and a couple errors reached 1 inning. So leading off the bottom of the 7th, St. Louis Park will need 5 runners to tie. We'll see if number 14, Keenan Kneisel, officially 0 for 2 on the game, will lead it off. And here's Pete with ball 2. I mentioned I had seen him years ago pitching, so I haven't seen him since he was 11 or 12. So this is good, though. He's only going into 10th grade, so he's really young for their Junior Legion team. So take a look at him. Looks real similar to when I had him when he was 11. He probably doesn't want to have me say that. There he reaches back and fires strike 1 in there. Kneisel, Pettit, Remfer. That ball peeled foul by Kneisel. Ball chopped to shortstop. Ricchini back from 1 foot. Right hand throw over to first, but good speed by Kneisel. Able to beat out the infield single that time. Not much anybody could have done as Kneisel runs well. Ricchini fielded that cleanly, but he had to throw that off his back foot, and he probably really needed to charge that to have any chance. So that'll bring up Pettit, who's officially reached both times a hit and an error. Adam's been playing, another one of the kids on the team that plays hockey as well. You take a look at Ricchini's throw over there. Good stretch as well by Wyville. Pete Valerius on the hill. Nice strike 1 to start things off there. Here's ball 1 there. You got to figure Coach Bissonette can have everybody take until they at least get a strike here, since they need runners. Not that they've had any walks today, because they haven't, but Two and one here. As we mentioned, TJ Remfer on deck, and then Joey Jaramillo and Jason Keller if things can continue for the Orioles as we go back to the top of the order after this. I officially only had 8 80 pitches for Vasiri in his outing. Nice stop that time, and we're going to have a nice throw down to second. Oh, and the ball skips through. Otherwise, a nice throw that time by the catcher. As I'll tell you what, the ball skipped through, and Chris Landis was a tough read right away for Pettit, or excuse me, for Kanizel, but the throw was right on the bag, but I think his feet just kicked it away, or maybe it just dropped anyway. So 3-1 will be the count to Pettit. Nice throw by Landis. So first and second that'll be a walk to Pettit, the first Oriole walk of the game. And that'll bring back to the top of the order, and TJ Rempfer, as the coach for Benilde, is going to have a meeting, and Bissonnette's going to talk to Rempfer here. We mentioned Coach Danny was telling me that TJ's been, one of their best hitters on the team, but he's only batted officially 11 times. He's been gone on a couple of vacations, but I know he's really fast and a good base runner, and can cover a lot of ground in the outfield. We'll see here if Danny's got him taken too. Obviously, 5-0 here with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jaramillo on deck. TJ is officially 1 for 3 on the day. There's a little take there as he kind of pushes the bat out and then pulls it back. Nice job by Valerius to deliver strike 1. Tough chance. Ricchini going to get that cleanly. Going to flip to second for 1, and that's all they're going to get. So force play is going to retire Pettit on the 6-4 force, most importantly, and Rempfer reaches on the fielder's choice, and that'll bring up Jaramillo with 1 down. Joey 1 for 3 with a single. Nice underhand flip by Ricchini that time as he flipped it over to Philbin, and they were able to retire Pettit. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jaramillo take again till he gets a strike here. That ball popped into short center. Second baseman Philbin got an easy beat on that. Here comes the throw home. So Jaramillo with just a pop to second for the second out of the inning, and that'll leave it all up to Keller with 2 down. And Kanizel, I should mention, over at third base now. So this is Jason Keller. We mentioned he pitched the first 5 innings of the game. We should mention as well that Jason is 1 for 3 on the day. Ball bounces in front of the home plate, and the runner Rempfer is able to make it down to second, which is a good play since there's no force play now. So runners at second and third with 2 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, last hopes for the Orioles. Nice stop again that time by Landis. He's done some good work back there. Nice throws, and Nordstrom as well. Some good work defensively for both sides. Oh, hit hard by Keller, but right back to Valerius, and there, right back to him. So a little 1-3 as that's going to end the deal here. As Pete Valerius comes in and gets the save for Benilde. He's got a little smile on his face. And for Benilde-St. Margaret's Chester Bird Junior Legion, they're able to corral a 5-0 win here. Officially 5 runs on 10 hits, or 11 hits, excuse me, 4 errors. And for the Orioles, no runs on 4 hits and 6 errors. Special shout out to both the starting pitchers, but especially John Vasiri, who went 6 innings for Benilde. 5 Ks, only 3 hits, and did not walk a batter. Really mixed things up nicely. And I thought Jason Keller did a pretty good job for the Orioles too. 5 single runs in the 1st, 2nd, 5th, 6th, and 7th inning. Keller only allowed 3 runs, 2 earned. And as we mentioned, this is the Junior Legion age. These kids are generally 16, some 15s. And for Benilde-St. Margaret's, that's officially their 11th win of the year as they go to 11-8. The Orioles drop that decision and go to 11-9. And we did not get an update on Archie Olsen's hamstring, but we'll try to relay that to you. Hopefully everything's okay. I know he's been a big cog in the pitching rotation. Make sure you stick with us. There's another game tonight. We're going to cover the Edina St. Louis Park Legion game. On behalf of our crack crew here at Derrick Keller Field, so long. Junior Legion score, Benilde-St. Margaret's 5, St. Louis Park nothing.